What is up, everyone? Welcome to It's Been a Week. I'm your host, Ben McDonald, and this is your weekly dose of whatever the hell just happened. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to It's Been a Week. Cannot believe we are already, halfway through December. This year has just flown by, which is just insane. And next week is actually the season finale of It's Been a Week. Next week is the final episode of the year. I will be taking a 2-week break and revamping some things and getting everything ready and figuring some stuff out. But next week will be the final episode of 2025. It's been a week, season 1. Crazy. This week has been kind of a whirlwind. I think I talked about it a couple weeks ago. I had posted this video of a possum that showed up on our front porch. And I think at the time I recorded and I told everyone, I was like, at this point in time, there's 30,000 views on TikTok. You guys, this possum video has blown up. It has over 1.8 million views on TikTok, over 1.2 million views on Instagram, thousands of comments, hundreds of thousands of shares and DM shares and saves and likes and hundreds of thousands of likes. And it's crazy. I've posted videos my whole life. I've posted videos for years on social media, and you always post and, sometimes you try really hard and you think, oh, people are going to love this. And this is the type of video, this could totally go viral. And it never fucking does. This video that I posted, I literally I was feeding the cats one night. This possum came up. I don't even know why I thought to name him Jeff. I just thought, you're Jeff. Posted this video, didn't edit it, didn't cut it down, didn't even try to make it better. I just took a random video. I posted it on TikTok and it has blown up. So people love Jeff. Jeff has become a, dare I say, viral sensation. I have had friends tell me, multiple people that don't know me have sent them this video of this possum. So I don't know how the algorithm, I don't know how the world of viral videos works or who's in charge of that or who decides if something's going to quote unquote go viral. But you guys, this video of this possum has blown up. It's gone crazy. First, it started going crazy on TikTok because I posted it, went to bed, didn't even think anything of it, woke up and there was all these views. And then it just kind of kept growing and growing. And then it got to 100,000 and then 200,000 and then it just kept going. And then it took a whole nother week until Instagram. And then I started going crazy on Instagram. But the video had been on Instagram for 2 weeks before it started to get momentum. So I don't know how that all works. It's wild to me. I had just done 4 random hashtags, hashtag possum, hashtag cats of TikTok, and hashtag friends. I don't even know it was just this most random thing. And it's blown up. So if you have not seen the video, you should go check it out on our TikTok or on Instagram. It is pinned at the top, so you will see good old Jeff. There has been some follow-up videos, which people are also loving. And I've gained so many new followers, which I'm pretty sure they have zero interest in this podcast. And actually, I've had some hate comments where the people are like, we don't give a shit about your podcast. We want more Jeff. And I'm like, okay, well, you know what? Maybe you'll get both. So it'll be interesting if these new followers, if they stick around or if as soon as I start posting about the podcast, they start unfollowing me, or maybe that will get some new listeners and some new traction. I don't know. We shall see. I do think there needs to be some Jeff merch in the merch store in the future. So that might be coming very soon. Also, if you're on our Christmas list, you may be getting a fun little surprise. And if you're not on our Christmas list, you should get on our Christmas card list because AJ and we do an amazing card every year and it's always really fun. And there's always people every year. They're like, I didn't get your card. And I'm like, you didn't get on the list. There is a link to get on the list and you didn't get on the list. And people, so I don't want to hear it. People are like, I didn't get your card. I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell you. I told everyone. It was posted publicly. I'm talking about it on here. Get on the list. Get on the Christmas card list. And if you want to be on the list and you don't know how to get it or you don't know how to get on the link, send me a DM on Instagram or Facebook or something, and I will send you the link so you can add onto the Christmas list because time is a ticking. The cards are being sent out really, really soon. So this week's episode it's, a lot of people struggle with the holidays. This isn't an easy time for everyone. People struggle, whether it's, relationship statuses or family drama, or, there's been deaths or there's been sickness, or, there's just so many reasons why people struggle this time of year. I personally choose to, no matter what, just make it the best, because I love the Christmas spirit. I love decorating for Christmas. I love trying to make it as magical as possible. But I know that that's not the case for everyone. So this episode, we're going to talk with my friend Blain, who has this Christmas is probably going to be one of the harder ones for him than he's ever had to deal with. And hopefully other people can relate to that, and hopefully people can, try to have the best time you can during the holidays, because it's not always easy, but we do have a choice to, sit in the sadness of it or to try to make the best of it. So I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Let's get into it. Okay, everyone. Today I'm joined by one of my good friends, Mr. Blain.
Hi there.
We have literally traveled the world together.
We have been all over the world together.
All over.
And I feel like I was one of your first guests, because you mentioned me on your very first podcast.
I did?
Yeah. I was like, one of the first stories you told, you were talking about AJ, but you said, my friend Blain. And I was like, I'm famous.
Oh, because when AJ and I first met, and we got on the party bus going to Knott's Berry Farm, and I was like, this fucking awful Southwest Airlines, it's the worst. And I'm like, and I was drunk, so I was repeating myself and telling the story 4 times.
He was drunk. It was like 8 a.m, by the way.
But I had come from Vegas, remember? I was so drunk. No,
that morning, you flew in.
I was supposed to fly home Sunday night. Missed my flight, ended up staying in Vegas, flew home at like 7 a.m. Monday morning. I cut it pretty close too. Landed in, what if the flight would have been delayed?
We'd have been in trouble. We wouldn't be here now.
No,
I would never have known you.
Ever. Because then I literally I left my luggage in Vegas, got in an Uber from the airport to Paige's house. I didn't have time to go back to my apartment. Because I think we had to be to Paige's house by 8 a.m.
Yeah.
So I literally
early days.
Yeah. So I got from Burbank Airport, and then I remember I stopped because I was like, I can't show up empty-handed, but liquor stores aren't open. So I stopped at 7-Eleven.
On that bottle of wine.
And I
remember.
brought a bottle of wine because I was like, I can't show up to her house with nothing. And
you should have just gotten some sweet tarts or something.
I mean, fuck, a Kit Kat or something. Yeah. It was so bad. I remember I walked in and Scott was like, oh. And I'm sure they just threw that bottle away.
Yeah. Long gone.
I mean, it was like a $7 bottle of wine. Because that's all 7-Eleven had to offer.
Probably a doorstop somewhere. Not even.
It's not even a paperweight.
No.
But that was the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
It was, yes.
And now we've been to the south of France. We've been all over Europe. We've been on helicopters together. We've been to the Caribbean.
The things we've done.
The places we've seen.
The things we don't remember. The
things
we've done.
Oh my God. Coachella.
Don't remember that.
Definitely don't remember Coachella.
Your birthday.
My birthday in Jamaica. Oh yeah, that was all one giant blur.
That year, basically, disappeared into.
Well, that year we traveled a lot.
It's in my photos. I mean, I know it happened. I can check the app. But...
I mean that year alone, that was Coachella, my birthday in Jamaica, a chaos trip. We were all over the place.
The first, those were bam. Yeah, it was fun. But so what's it been 8 years, 7 years? How long have we known each other now?
2019. So what year is it?
I don't know.
25. So 6.5. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, going on 7. Crazy how time is flying by.
Now you live in Texas. You moved to my neck of the woods where I grew up, and now I get to see you when I'm here visiting my family, which I love.
Because you're originally from here, and didn't you work at Six Flags?
One of my very first jobs. Yeah, I was the stagehand for the Batman stunt show
at the original Six Flags.
At the original, yes, we were the first Six Flags. That's the park I grew up going to. Season pass holder, for life. One time I forgot to fill up I filled up the Batcave with smoke, but I forgot to open the doors. Batman was trapped in there the whole time as the soundtrack kept going. He was really mad at me.
So you're smoking him.
He was
hotboxing him in there.
Yeah, and all this action's going on the soundtrack, and there's nothing going on the stage. The audience is just staring at nothing. Oh, it was bad. I think I got moved to games after that. They were like, you can't handle this.
It's you're no longer on. You're not part of the live show.
I definitely didn't get to operate any rides after that. They were like, no.
Did I buckle that person in?
Oh, I forgot to stop, whatever.
Could you imagine?
No.
Oh, fuck.
Good thing.
Okay, so now you're living in Palm Springs.
Moved to Palm Springs recently. I love it. Taking pickleball lessons and mahjong lessons. I'm
Getting
in
old.
my retirement age era. But no, I love it. And then, of course, there's tons of gays there to keep me company and got lots of friends. And I feel like it's just like East LA, so I get back to LA all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that long of a drive to
No.
LA.
I mean, it's annoying, but it's not that far.
Yeah. Okay, so holidays are coming up, which I know is a really difficult time, or for a lot of people. And some people embrace it. Holidays, look, I love decorating for Christmas. I love making it beautiful and magical, but it's not an easy time for all sorts of people for all different types of reasons. And this year is going to be a little harder for you, for everyone who doesn't know, which most people don't know who you are, but
Blain.
I'm Blain, or you're Blain. Blain's husband passed away this year.
My beautiful husband, Danny Duran.
Yes.
We lost him.
And he was part of he was our group. All these things, all these adventures we're talking about, like he was there.
He is an original, original part of the group. He was one of the original Gabies, which, as we styled ourselves,
Right.
Yes, we all lost him this year. It's only been about 5 months, honestly. It's been forever, and the blink of an eye at the same time. I definitely still obviously moving through all of the process that goes along with that. I don't know. I feel like I'm doing okay in a way, I'm not sure, but maybe you guys can tell me after you hear about all this. But yeah, it is coming up on the holidays, which has not ever been my favorite time of the year. I'm not one of those that gets depressed around it. I just don't like them. I know it's weird to say, just the expectation and tradition and stuff, but Danny liked them. His mom really likes them. So I've always felt like, an obligation to participate and I don't want to be the Grinch or anything. But now it's like, I don't know. I don't even really know how to feel about him now. It's like,
It's going to be, I feel like a, roller coaster of, not to bring back to Six Flags, a roller coaster of just different emotions. I think you've obviously had to live through all of this firsthand, whereas a lot of us on in the friend group, it happened so fast. But then I know that you had been dealing with it for a while, and it just was crazy how it was like.
I mean, it was so. This has become like an annual kind of trip that I come here.
Around this time
to visit you guys and then go visit my family. And it was this time last year, if you'll remember, that Danny was supposed to come with me on this trip, and he was sick, and I was like, they were testing him for Zika virus and things.
Yeah.
They didn't know what was wrong with him. So that's only been a year ago that they didn't even know what was wrong with him. And
no, I remember he was supposed to come, and
it's insane.
He texted us. He's like, "Hey boys, I'm so sorry. I'm not feeling good. I can't make it. Blain's still coming." And we were like, okay, we just thought, like you said, does he have some strain of COVID? Is it some, weird bug or whatever? But I remember he called you and he's like, something's not right.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I left early from this trip last year to go home to be with him, and it was our first hospital visit. Oh my gosh. Of course it didn't feel fast as I was going through it as he and I were, but it was. And if you look at, it was just a few months.
No, it was like boom, boom. And then it was, there was I don't know, I guess I don't want to say false senses of hope, but there was
well, there definitely was. He was better, there for a while. Just to fill in the listener, he had spindle cell liposarcoma, just a rare fatty tumor, which he really hated that. He hated that it was a fat tumor. It made him so mad. He's like, that's the one.
Fat one.
Which they grow slowly and go undetected. And by the time his was detected, it was very large. And took a while for us to get it diagnosed and get into a surgeon that could remove it. And they did a good job removing it, but it had just been so long. So anyway, during that time when it was removed, he was quote unquote cured, not, better. So we had a few months where it was really great and life was going to be awesome. And I'm really grateful for that time. But then it just came roaring back, and it had, metastasized. And then he only had a couple months after that. It went real quick. But yeah, there were lots of false hopes. And that I'm really grateful for that couple month period of false hope, though. I look back on that as a blessing.
Right, because it was it was back to normal for a minute.
Yeah, we got that period to kind of reflect on what we had been through and what it meant to have had for him to have been sick, and then to discuss all the things that we should have discussed our whole lives and put off. And then when he was sick, we couldn't. And it just gave us a time to. We didn't know we were closing things up together at that point, but it kind of gave us that time to.
Because you guys were together for how long?
20 years. 20 years. Almost, like really almost to the day. Couple. Yeah.
Yeah. Because then it was like, I just remember, like, he's sick. Oh, now he's better. And then, oh, he's sick again. Okay, but he's got this much time.
Yeah.
And then it was like, he's got a few months. And then it was like a few weeks. And then it was like that day.
It went from months to days to hours within a day. Like
Within a day.
Yeah,
like,
it was...
I mean, I have chills my whole body right now. I remember when Paige called and she was like, this isn't good. And she's like, it's a couple weeks. And then she called us uncontrollably sobbing an hour later. And she's like, it's today. You know, it was just like, it was awful.
Those were hard calls to make. Also, too, it was really weird, too, because a lot of our friends, the last time they saw him, he was well. And he didn't see you or anyone during that time. And he didn't want to see anyone when he was in his worst. In the hospital, he kept saying, I'll see you when I'm better, And then, so he never really got to see a lot of people at the end, which is, that saddens me. But more that a lot of people didn't get to see him,
Yeah.
He was
him and I
was special.
Him and I would text. I remember he texted me after I made some post when I went to the Pink concert.
Oh, yeah?
And I made some...
ridiculous post.
And I remember he texted me. He's like, I'm not on social media right now, but I heard about it and I just applaud you for it.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, I did.
And, but like my last real memories of like being with Danny was at the wedding. And it's like, that was like obviously the best time of all of our lives. And we were having so much fun and we were just like, drunk and partying and shopping and doing all the things that our group does. And
I was just so grateful for that trip because, he had already started to feel a little sick. We didn't know. He wasn't like sick or anything,
right.
But he was already like showing a few symptoms or whatever. So he was kind of worried to go and to Paris. But then we got there and he was fine. Like it was like a weird reprieve for him. He had energy. We had so much fun. And this is one thing, I don't think I've told you this yet. We visited the catacombs in Paris. It was one thing after the wedding. We had a few days, and that's just something I've always wanted to do. I saw it in a horror movie once and I thought it was so cool. That's where they emptied all the cemeteries and brought all their bones down to the underground. You would probably hate it. And they stacked them up. It's a weird thing. Google it. It's really kind of cool though. I told him I want to do it, and that's not really his sort of thing either. But he's like, sure, supportive husband. We get down there, and he thought it was cool. It's really creepy. You got to go way underground. This little tunnel's kind of claustrophobic. Anyway, we get out of there, and we're going to have a beer and just talk about how was a weird experience. And I look at him, and he's crying. And Danny didn't cry. He's not a crier. And
you are.
I'll cry right now.
I know. Someone says they like your hair, your haircut.
Well, and he was crying. I'm like, babe, I'm sorry. Did I drag you? He's like, no. He's like, but I felt like they were talking to me. And now you look back on that kind of, experience, and he already had the tumor at that time. We didn't know it, but it was growing and it was quite large at that time. And I don't know. Now, of course, I'm not a big spiritual person, but you hear things like that and you wonder, like,
right.
Were they preparing him? Were they trying to tell him? I don't know. That sounds a little crazy, but it gives me like goosebumps to think about once in a while.
Well, it is weird because he said he's not a crier. And for him to cry over like that.
And an emotional cry too, not like a sad cry or whatever, just like he felt like some sort of connection to something. That I don't know. It was a really I put that stock in it now. At the time I just thought, oh, how cute he's crying,
Right.
But now
that's it. I
wonder what he thought about it all the time. Every time he looked over and I was crying, right. I was just like, oh my God.
You definitely are the crier.
I am the crier.
Like it's
well known.
It's a well known thing. That
during toasts.
Oh God,
I love you so much.
When we go on these like boat trips, people always, throughout the trip, get up and we usually give a speech, to Paige and Alex or toasts or like just, because everyone's so thankful to be a part of this and to be experiencing literally what no one ever gets to experience, like on Earth. And, I've definitely teared up during some of the speeches, but like you look over Blain, like someone will literally just start the speech and be like, this trip has been magical. And you look over and Blain is sobbing.
Thank God I don't wear mascara. It would be.
You would need waterproof mascara for sure. So, okay, you said the tumor, though, was like obviously, like, do they say how long?
Oh, well, when they took that, how long it was growing? You mean,
like how long had he had?
Oh, they said it a year to 2 years. They're insidious, they called it. It's an insidious growing tumor. And they said it could have been growing for a year to 2 years before, it was noticed, and that's common for that. It's not a common tumor, but that's common for that type of tumor. From what I've been told, from what I've researched. And he didn't feel really much from it. He had a little stitch in his side that we couldn't figure out. He went to a bunch of doctors about that, and they, Who knows?
He felt like a little thing.
Like when we go for a walk, and he kept trying to figure out what it was. He's like, "Oh, is it right after I ate, so he wouldn't eat before we went for a walk, or did I?" He kept trying to figure out what that. When you go for a run when you're a kid, and you get that stitch in your side. And you're like, "Oh,
headache."
It's kind of like that, from what I understand, and it just wouldn't go away. And now, looking back, it had to be the beginnings of it, but it got so large it was, I don't want to bring everyone down, but yeah, it got so large it was pressing on his lung, and he got a cough, and that's really the only reason that we figured it out, because it was ginormous, but it wasn't showing on the outside of his body. It was just pushing things on the inside of his body.
He would have noticed
out
that
of the way.
For sure.
Yeah, he would have. He kept saying, he's like, I noticed it was like a little like firmer on this side. He's like, but I thought that was just my muscle. And then, of course, his bestie Dennis is like, "Doll, that should have been your first clue."
Do they know is it random?
It's random. There's no cause that they know of. It's a genetic mutation that just happens all of a sudden. They don't know why. They can't pinpoint it to any, specific action or
it's not like drinking too much.
It's literally they can't figure. I'm sure it is caused by something, but they don't know. They haven't been able to figure it out. And it's just rare enough that they haven't been able to study it a lot yet. He was actually in a clinical trial toward the end. They're still studying it. Yeah. There is no standard of care for that type of tumor apparently. So, yeah.
Okay, so I know you said you're doing okay, but like, how are you doing?
Yeah, well, I guess like I said, I'm still figuring it out. Throwing myself into first of all, there's just a lot to figure out when something like this happens. Danny was very prepared. Let this be a lesson to everyone. He was as prepared as you could be, and there's still so much to do and to close out and to figure out. And just a laundry list of like items you got to,
and I think
closing out a person's life, which is a weird thing to even think about, but
people don't think about that. Like, that is not a conversation. You don't think about like closing credit cards, business loans, businesses. Like you said the other day, he got called for jury duty.
Yeah.
And you had to like send them a note or check the box and send his death certificate that he's, it's like, you don't think about that kind of stuff. And it's obviously you think of Danny every single day.
Yeah.
But then you don't think about like these constant reminders. Not that you're not already reminded of them, but like things like that, where it's like, I think you get to a point where you're like, really?
Yeah.
Fucking jury duty. I have to worry, I have to worry about that. Like, and I don't think people, like you said, he was prepared. You have to think about the people out there that aren't prepared.
Well, that's what I'm saying is like, as prepared as he was, it still isn't enough. That I don't know that it can be, but there's just so much to do. So,
and I think also this is a lesson out there for, all the gay people that are listening. That's a whole nother like legal bag of fucking shit you got to deal with. So like, people should you really need to make sure you have your duck in a row.
Yeah, it's funny, everywhere we go people are like, were you married? Yes. Legally?
Right.
No, is that what married means? Right. Yes, we were legally married.
No, we were pretending to be married. Yeah, that's a lot to deal with.
It's a lot. Like I said, I'm lucky to have a big friend group, and a few friend groups, and support. And I honestly, I couldn't be luckier in the support that I have. And even that, there's still times that I feel alone. That's just natural. Obviously, it's going to be, of course, I've lost a huge part of me, and I don't know. And it's just a weird thing. I'm going to keep saying I don't know a lot because I don't know. I'm still going through it. Like I said,
you're still in the thick of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This isn't like 5-10 years.
No.
This happened in.
Like, I got an email yesterday. Like I told you, they just placed his headstone, his memorial tablet. I'm excited to go see that and leave him. I go every time I'm in LA, but so far it's just been a plot of grass.
Right.
And now I get to, have his thing there.
Well, yeah.
But the point of that is that things are still happening. Like it's just still fresh, and we'll see how I am. It's funny too. Like I was telling you yesterday that suddenly the future is so important to me. I've always been an in the now kind of person. That's just my nature. All of a sudden, the person that secured my future is no longer here with me, and suddenly I'm obsessed. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do next week, next month? Like, I've got to figure this out. Why? I don't have to figure it out, but I can't stop obsessing about that. That's one of the weird things that's.
Well, I think it's like, like almost like your security blanket of like, I don't know what we're going to do, but we're doing it together type thing. Like, we'll figure it is gone. So now you're like probably in a little bit of a panic. Like, what what does tomorrow bring? Which, like you said, nothing has to be figured out.
I know.
You can do whatever you want. But that's not, I think that's much easier said than done. And it's much easier for me to tell you that.
Yeah, of course,
someone who's, living it. But, I think you have this great place in Palm Springs. Like you said, you have a ton of friends. You have different friend groups. But I can imagine that there's still, going to bed at night. There's lonely moments, and everything in life is.
He doesn't give me my Metamucil anymore. It was his job. Every night before we go to bed, drink your juice, Shelby. He had to say that too. And
of course,
got my coffee in the morning. I don't have anyone to give me my drink at night, my drink in the morning anymore.
I got your coffee this morning.
I know you did, but we had to wait a few hours.
Feed the animals.
To do all our chores first and drive 20 minutes to the Starbucks.
But I got it eventually.
It was delicious. I just finished it.
Yeah, I can imagine that it's, everything in life is going to be a reminder of him.
It's weird. Yeah, like literally everything. I have to, my friends don't mind me reminiscing and like talking about him. And I tell my friends, please don't ever be afraid to talk about him. That's one of my worst fears, is that people are going to like not want to discuss him with me because they don't want to set me off or make me sad or whatever. But no, but I do find myself like having to pull back maybe sometimes, because like every single thing I look at, I'm like, oh, that reminds me of this time, or oh, that was the last time Danny did this, or especially now that we're in this time period, like you said, it's been a year now that he got sick. Now everything, all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, it was just a year ago that this happened. Oh, right. So everything is like, I'm associating everything with, 1 year ago this and 1 year ago that. So it's like, I don't want to annoy people by talking about him nonstop, but at the same time, how can you not, everything does remind me of him. I think it's good you said that, because I don't think anyone gets annoyed of you talking about him. Yeah. I think definitely you kind of feel like, should we talk? Yeah.
As a friend, it's like, do you want to keep talking about this? Are we trying to,
you trying to like help me move on by not talking about it? Or
right.
Yeah. So I get it. It's like, I don't know how to talk to people about people they've lost and stuff. I'm trying to be better about it now, obviously, that I've experienced some sort of, or that same sort of loss.
And grieving, I think, is obviously different for everyone.
Yeah.
Some people probably don't want to talk about it. Yeah. They want to just be like, don't bring it up. But I think, everything we've ever done together, all those stories, Danny was there. Yeah. Like we look over here at these like bottles of champagne and all these invitations from our friend Paige. Like Danny was there at all that. He was a part of all that. I mean, I get things pop up on my phone all the time, like the memories, or, like the iPhone, and it's like, all these group shots. We're all together, or like doing all. So it's hard to not talk about it.
Yeah.
And I also think there's no. I mean,
well, with me,
he would want us talking about.
Yes, he would. He would love to hear all the great things people have said about him.
Yeah, of course.
But you know what? He was a lucky man, and I think a lot of people. He knew how much people loved him. He was easy to love, and he knew that people appreciated him and loved him and thought he was fun.
He was the best. He was the most easygoing.
He was so easy.
He was so there was never anything difficult. Like how we say about other people, they're so difficult.
Few people.
They're so difficult.
He was one of the least difficult people ever.
Like he just went with the flow.
Yeah,
and was like, okay.
But, there had to be him, because so many of our other friends, like you said, are difficult. Like we needed him to balance out our...
And don't get mad at me looking down at me, Danny, but he was one of the older ones of the group.
He's mad.
Yeah.
But he looked like one of the younger ones. And
he would hang with we'd be out at these bars until 4 a.m, and he'd be there with his bottle or his glass of Cristal.
Mm-hmm.
And
he loved that Cristal.
He loved his Cristal. But he was going.
Yeah. No,
Sorry, Dave, don't get mad. I'll never forget. I remember one morning I woke up and I go, what the fuck are you doing? He had like those, you put like the under eye patches under your eyes, or you put like a face mask. He had like a full head one.
He had one for his chin. Do you remember that? It would wrap around his
he looked like
ears. Yes.
So I come out one morning and I'm like, I come down the stairs and I'm going out by the breakfast table and I'm like, the fuck are you doing? He's just sitting out. I'm like, jump scare. And he's just sitting there fully wrapped.
Trust me, that's one of the things, going through all of this stuff, I'm like, I've got beauty treatments to last me for years.
Forever.
I've got to get into a good routine because he's provided me with all of the equipment.
And we have to think of the good times and laugh at some of the stuff. Like what you just told me yesterday. So you have his phone line connected to your phone.
Yeah. So I found it important to keep his phone number, especially things you don't think about, like multi-factor authentication, closing out his accounts. It was important for me to keep his phone, but also I was, paying 2 bills and taking his phone with me everywhere, and got the bright idea the other day to go to T-Mobile and have his number transferred to the second line on my phone, right? Genius. Well, as soon as I do that, I start noticing I'm like going to text people and it's going to go from his number. So I had to like dig into the settings and figure out how to make sure it only comes from.
It would go from whichever the last number.
Yeah. Well, I thought that I set it to go only from my number, but what I actually did was set it to go from the last number used. So which didn't seem like a big deal. Of course, I only use my number. So, and his mom likes to call him. I do it too sometimes, just to hear his voicemail, just to hear his voice. And his mom called the other day. I saw that she was calling. I knew, and she was calling on his line. And I knew what she was calling for, so I didn't answer it. And I call her every morning. You know, we talk every day. I called her, and she sounded asleep or something. I'm like, "Are you okay? Are you asleep?" She's like, "Blain." I'm like, "Yeah. Who else would it be?" She's like, "You're calling me from Danny's phone." And then she started crying. Then I started crying, and then. Sure enough, because she had called him, you know, it defaulted to the last number used. So I had to change that setting because I don't want to be freaking people out. Like can you imagine
Danny's calling?
How she felt when she saw that coming through? Yeah. But of course, she took it like as a sign. You know, she's always looking for signs, and I am too, which is funny. Like I don't even believe in stuff like that, but I find myself looking anyway. You know, I'm
of course.
So like, I mean, luckily it didn't freak her out to the point of, you know. But it probably would have me if my phone had rang and said Danny. I would have.
If I looked down and it said Danny was calling me, I'd be like,
lots of little things like that. You gotta.
Yeah, and I think we can laugh at that moment, but in reality, that it's not really that funny.
No, right? Not in the moment, but
in the moment. But you just have to. I think you have to laugh at stuff because you got to try. I guess try to make it a little funny out of a really, really shitty situation.
I will say this: there should be a profession that deals with this, like helping people through this. There are estate attorneys and things like that, but what I've noticed is there's not really anyone that like can take the reins and show you exactly what you need to do
right
in a time like this. And that would be a really good business opportunity for any of you listening that are really organized and can look into all the minutia of how to deal with stuff like this. Because I mean, that's somebody I would have hired right away. Again, can you do this for me? Here. Yeah.
Like a service that just will go, close everything.
Actually,
out.
I Googled that. I thought there would be. It seems like something that would happen.
Anyone need a new business plan?
Yeah, there you go.
We got it for you. All right. So, what are your plans then for these holidays? Like, how are you gonna navigate this?
Sending them with friends. I'm here now to see family. It's a little early Thanksgiving trip. Of course, by the time you guys all hear this, it'll be after. So I'm going to see them, and then I'm going to go home, do a Friendsgiving. I've got a friend flying out. That'll be fun. Then I'm just going to continue working on all this stuff until Christmas comes around, and I got scheduled for jury duty again, like we were talking. After I did deny it for Danny, I got summoned, and I was able to move my date of service, and one of the available dates was December 22nd. I'm like, brilliant. So I'm probably not going to get used, but I also have an excuse not to have to do anything for Christmas, and that's all I want is not to sound sad or anything, but I just don't want to be in. I don't know.
Right.
I don't feel like it this year, and I'm fine with that. No one needs to be sad for that. I'll be with some friends or something. We'll find something to do on that day, but I'm not a big Christmas person anyway, and I'll be serving my community by.
And I think the first
guilty
of
whoever
everything
is guilty.
Right. I don't care what you did. You're guilty. I'd be a terrible juror. I'd be like, I don't look guilty to me. I know we heard the facts, but I don't know about that. I don't like the looks of you. I don't like you on the streets anymore. But no, I do think that the first of everything is probably going to be, the first Christmas, the first anniversary, the first birthday, all that. The first of everything is going to be the hardest.
Yep.
And
his mom is really concerned about that too. And I don't know, a lot of my job now it's not my job, but it's just to take care of the other people that are also feeling this loss. I mean, it's just, we're the ones that, I guess I'm talking about his mom specifically and his family, but it's like they're the only other ones that can kind of understand exactly where I am. So we've just, we've always been close, but of course this has brought us immensely closer. And so I'll spend time with them as well, not on Christmas Day. So yeah, it'll be a lot of firsts. I don't know. I'm navigating. I think I'm doing okay, but we'll see.
You seem okay, all things considered.
Yeah. And of course, when I'm by myself, often I'm not, but I'm okay with that too. Like you said, I'm a crier, and I find that very therapeutic. So I've certainly shed my number of tears daily for Danny, and I will continue to do so. I mean, he was worth crying over. He was, it's a great loss, and it's okay to feel that, you know.
Yeah.
And I do.
Yeah.
I miss you, babe. But yeah, I mean, he's going to forever be like the biggest thing that's ever happened to my life thus far. And it's just my job to make sure that, you know, I don't let his loss end my life. I've got to like, you know, I've got to continue it like in honor of him almost in a way, you know. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what I'm going to do. Like I said, I'm obsessed with figuring it out, but I don't know. I told you I was going to say I don't know a lot.
Yeah.
And here I am.
I think, you know, yeah.
It's good for me to talk about him. And so I appreciate the opportunity to do so. And
I think day by day.
yeah.
And, you know, there's, like I said, when we started this, there's so many people out there that I know the holidays, they suck for.
Yeah.
And
I think this is a big reason. I feel a lot of people don't like him because they lost someone around the holiday. Or then again, like you said, the holidays were such a big deal to them and the person that they've lost.
yeah.
So I feel like for a lot of people love it, like you said, but for a lot of people, I think it's a time of loss and a time of sorrow. And I don't know how they always get through it. I just always got through it by just being annoyed. But I didn't have anything lost at that point. So
I think too, it makes people reflect and look at their lives and look at what they, as much as we should, you know, sit and be thankful for all the things we do have. I think the holidays sometimes make people look at what they don't have, and they compare their lives to other people's lives, and they, you know, it's all happy and magical on Hallmark. I do think, you know, for anyone else listening out there that's going through loss or going through, if they hate the holidays or all the things, I think that it can be a time to, you know, laugh about it.
yeah.
Try to make the best of it, and sometimes change your perspective on it.
Well, you said something interesting earlier, and I was kind of wondering, like, I wonder if this will make me kind of like the holidays. I wonder if, like, somehow this will change my perspective on it. Like, I wonder if next year you come to visit me and I have 14 Christmas
you've decked
trees
the halls.
like you. Well, what did you say earlier? You're,
Like I had, you know, my stepdad was awful, and, you know, the holidays, like, my mom always made it magical. My mom was like, you know, I believed in Santa until I was 14.
yeah.
Like, I was a very, you know, like, my mom made it amazing. And my mom always spoiled the shit out of me, and she continues to. But, like, it was difficult with my family life, with my, you know, with my stepdad. And it was hard. So I think now I'm like, I deck the halls and I make it so crazy because it's like this, like, I don't know. I'm going to make this my way now.
Yeah. What did you say your therapist said you were doing?
Oh, a corrective experience.
I like that. So maybe I'll go to a corrective experience and.
Yeah. So instead of dreading the holidays, you can just like deck the halls.
Well, I don't want to be a Scrooge, so maybe I'll try to make that my new outlook.
Yeah.
I'll put up a Christmas tree this year.
Well, there's like that whole saying, like when, you know, people are trying to like get self-love and all that. It's like, look in the mirror every day and tell yourself you love yourself, even if you don't. And eventually, like, you start to believe it.
Like that SNL skit.
Yeah. So you just have to like tell yourself you love Christmas and the holidays are amazing. And I don't know, open up a TJ Maxx or a Home Goods TJ Maxx credit card. And trust me, you can do some damage.
I can just go to Danny's mom's house. She's the Home Goods queen. Don't worry. Yeah.
I love
at her house.
Home Goods. Walmart has great Christmas this year. Home Goods always does. And then Home Depot.
I know you are a Home Depot queen.
Yeah. Lowe's, they kind of, they struggle on it, but Home Depot has some great Christmas stuff.
Yeah, they really do. We've got a great Home Depot in Palm Springs. I've become a little addicted.
See, there you
starting projects and stuff. Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming on and talking about it. I know it's not easy.
No.
But I'm hoping that there's people out there that will, you know, can hopefully relate or take from
hi
it.
people. Thanks for listening.
Yeah. And let's try to make the holidays happy, even if you're on jury duty.
Yeah. Actually, like I said, I think that'll make it really happy. But yeah, I think that's a good idea to like try to change my outlook on it. Not like, I'm not going to force it, but I like the idea of reframing the holidays.
What did they just say in Wicked? They're like, she's like, you're beautiful.
It's not a lie. It's looking at it differently or something. What
she goes, you're beautiful. And he goes, you don't have to lie. She goes, it's not a lie. It's seeing it from a different perspective.
Yeah. I like that.
So we can learn something from Wicked.
We can learn a lot from Wicked. We saw it yesterday, and we've been a little bit obsessing.
Yeah, it's amazing. Okay, so to end this, if there's anyone else out there that's going through similar things or that hates the holidays or is dealing with loss or grieving, like what is one thing you could say to everyone?
Wow. I don't know. Whoa, you're going to have to edit out this pause. What is the one thing you say to everyone? I don't know. Like I'm just going through it myself now and I don't know the answers yet. The stock answer would be, stay strong. You'll get through this. I mean, that's true. That's one of the truest things is it's so hard to realize in the moment that this is going to pass. And it's hard even thinking that this is going to pass because you don't want it to, you don't want to think you're going to forget or move on past it. Sometimes you just don't want to move on. So I think, maybe that's what I would say is that it is okay to move on. Moving on is not the same thing as forgetting or diminishing the experience that you did have with the person that you lost. I don't know. I think that's what I'm struggling with right now is trying to learn how to move on without like dishonoring. And I know that it's not, but it feels that way all the time, so just know it's okay to keep experiencing new things and moving on. I mean, you're going to move on no matter what. Time marches on. And eventually you realize it's marching all over your face. What's that from? I think I got it wrong. It's Steel Magnolias. Oh. You should know that. You don't have a choice. It's moving on. So just accept it, I guess, and don't be mad at time moving on. I don't know.
All right. That's good. Okay. Thank you for coming on. It's been a week. I love you.
It has been a week. I love you too. And I love coming to visit you guys. How many in-studio guests have you had?
Not as many.
Yeah.
It's mostly virtual.
I like that I get to be up here.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You get to experience the full. It's been a week.
And is there going to be an AJ tag for this week?
He hasn't been on in a while. He's been so busy.
I know that boy is busy.
Fucking busy. Like this. He's working like crazy. I don't think he's been on for the last 4 or 5 episodes.
Wait, what do we call his segment?
Been there, done that with AJ.
Yeah. Been there, done that.
All right, everyone. Happy holidays. Try to what? Try to get through it. Try to be happy about it.
Try to be happy. Have a little joy. I mean, that's what the holidays are supposed to be about. I'll try. I'll check in with you next year and see if you tried to. Not you, the listener.
Okay. All right, everyone.
Thank you.
I'll see you next Tuesday.